Well, hello, hello, my silky friends. How are you doing? I know it's been quite a while since I've been on here. Um so if you are hiding out, hanging out in the chat, please say hello, say something. Um I know it's been crazy and I don't know if I'm even going to have anybody to chat with tonight because I haven't been here for you. Um I'm going to let you know a bit about what's going on. I do have some stuff on my mind, though. I would love to get your thoughts. So I know it's a Saturday night and everybody has a life. Apparently, not me. I really do. The problem is I have too much of a life. Okay, it's insane. So but I have a lot of things that I do want to talk about, and if you are on the replay, I love, love, love my replay crew. You're my favorite people, other than the people who are live. So I love all of you. I love the live comments. You know I do. Let me put my glasses on. Is that you, Samantha? Hey there, Samantha. It's good to see you. Buckeye, good to see you too. I hope you're doing better, Samantha. I know Samantha and I have kept up with each other a little bit through all this. He's been going through some stuff, and I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna say a whole lot, but people have stuff. I've had stuff. She's had some stuff. So, I hope your stuff is going better than my stuff. My stuff, I'm telling ya, y'all, if it wasn't for the grace of God, I don't even know where I'd be right now. Um, Plus everything that's going on in the world. So, if you're on the replay crew, let me tell ya, can y'all hear me okay? I hope so. Tried to turn down everything in the room, and now a motorcycle outside or something's going down the road. Um, and about 3 months ago, I had a situation at work, and y'all, it's been the darndest year. I don't know, 2025, I had all kinds of hope for it. And it has been the year of me finding out, not that I really had that much hope in people, but I've really found out that I don't know people. I don't, and I'm not just talking about certain people. I'm talking about my friends, my coworkers, people that I deal with in business in the world, people that I'm not going to go too deep into the categories, but people that I socialize with. um it's been a real year of, I think, devastation. You think you know people, and you realize that you really don't. Have y'all, is it just me? Is this my year? And it hurts a lot because um it's not that I put my faith in people. I learned a long, long time ago not to do that. But it hurts my heart because know, you think you know somebody. You think you know what someone would and wouldn't do, and then you find out you're wrong. And it's just sad. It is so sad. Let me see what y'all are saying. Buckeye says, I don't have lively Saturday nights. I usually watch cop shows. Sunflower Lola. Hello, Sunflower. Good to see you. I'm getting your health back together, Samantha. I know. I saw that you had replaced your vehicle. Good for you. My gosh, I know. You've gone through it. Bless your heart. Um, but oh, sorry. Every time I take my glasses, let me see if I can expand this where I can see it better. Every time I take my glasses off, uh, and it seems like my eyesight is worse, it messes with my camera. Um, but yeah, this has been the year. And then politically, oh my God, y'all. I hate politics. Y'all know I hate politics. But I've been pretty, along with everything else, I felt pretty devastated politically. I thought I knew what was going on. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. We're going to talk about some stuff. Um, how do y'all feel about the Coburger thing? Um, I've sometimes, along the journey, I never covered that in depth. I've had my doubts. I went back and forth. Could he be innocent? I've had questions about certain things, but I never really studied it that close. And I was honestly shocked when he said he was going to do the confession and with everything coming out. And I'm still not following close, but it seems like it's pretty ugly, y'all. So uh, unlike the whole Richard Allen thing, it's like polar opposite, right? Um, and my heart goes out to those families, and you just wonder what the heck brought this on. And I guess I want to ask you if you were the families of the victims, would you have felt cheated by this decision? Because I'm thinking I would have wanted to see the trial. There's probably 1,000 questions out there that they're going to want the answer to that they're never going to get, and there's no guarantee they would have gotten them in trial, but there's a chance, that somebody would have asked a question, or there would have been more, you know, it's a hope that you would have some more understanding. I don't know. What do y'all think? I feel like the families did get cheated in this. Because he's only going to say what he wants to. So I feel like it's unfair. I don't know. What are y'all saying? Um Samantha says I was watching clips from the after court stuff. Lots of bigwigs flashing those hand signs. Oh yeah. Well, sorry, Sachi is gonna show her tail. She always does. Buckeye, I couldn't follow the Idaho case. Those 4 students with their whole lives ahead of them, and to be ended that way, yeah, just horrifying. It is. It is. Yeah, it was a hard one, and there were so many things because again, Delphi with so much stuff that was kept under wraps. Anytime you have, and I understand people do this because they want to keep the integrity of the case. In Delphi, it's because they want to keep their lives under control. But most of the time, they want to keep the integrity of the case, and I get that. But what happens is you have a lot of people supposing, and you have a lot of people digging into stuff, and I feel like a little bit more transparency along the way would do some wonders for people. But anyway, what I was gonna say, and go back to catch you up to where I'm at real quick, just so you know why I'm in here. um Outside of the book that I did take time to write, I started with a lot of devastating news the end of April, beginning of May. It was really, really hard. Um, and it changed my whole job. It changed all of our jobs. And so in the midst, I got a promotion. It's not the way. I certainly did not want a promotion this way. I'm not even sure I wanted the promotion. But it is what it is. Um, I, I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy the job. It's not that I don't, but I would rather have kept things the way they were. Um, but they couldn't stay the way they were, and so it immediately threw me into having to learn a whole other set of things and doing 2 jobs, and that up until Friday, that's been the case. So I've worked a lot of extra hours, getting employees in, trying to get people in, trained, that kind of thing, until we can get on a regular schedule. So therefore, my being able to do two channels, even one channel, has been really, and then I had surgery. I was down for about a week, but then I've had complications since then. Had a lot of family issues, house issues. I still have a major family issue. I'll pray. Y'all praying people, pray for my mom. She has been in the hospital. She is in rehab right now, and it is it's exhausting. Okay, let me just put it that way. It's exhausting. So we're still there. And so that's why I haven't been around. Okay, it's not that I don't love y'all. It's just and in the midst of this, in the midst of me being down, I finished a project I have been studying for decades, and that is the Lizzie Borden case, which we'll do more videos. And I know if y'all haven't, you're either interested in that case or you're not. And it's nothing I've ever covered here before. It is something I am so, so very passionate about, because I 100% believe that she is innocent. And you may be saying, well, why does it matter? It's a 130-year-old case. Because, like I said, the slogan, I guess, for Silky Southern Tea has always matters, because it matters. Her reputation matters. To me, it matters. Truth matters. And I still think she deserves justice. I do not think she's guilty, and I can prove to you why it is impossible for her to have done that. So anyway, that's a whole nother thing. We're not talking about Lizzie. I will talk about Lizzie live, but I'm not done with my videos yet. Let's see. Let's see what y'all are saying. Yes, Samantha, the crazy and ugly in this world suddenly seems so overwhelming. Yes, it does. Daniel Berry Sports. Whoop whoop. How you doing? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Samantha. Vicky Shipman, thank you. All right, let me show you some stuff. I just have a few things, and I really, y'all, I got on here tonight to tell you why I've been gone, but also to get your opinion on some stuff. Let me tell you what I wanted to do tonight. I had I was visiting my mom in rehab this afternoon. Well, early afternoon, and across my phone I get a they're called blue alerts, right? And it is it's a statewide thing saying that an officer, and of course I work with law enforcement. um they are, in spite of the way that I come across on here, because I have a lot to say about corrupt cops. um I love the police. Okay, I really do. um but there was an officer down. Okay, not in my county, but in a neighboring county. Not, I mean, drivable distance. So I had a wedding to go to. I could not stop and do anything. And by the way, the officer's okay. We will talk about him a little bit. But if y'all know, if y'all know me IRL, okay, in real life, you need to know this. If I show up at your wedding, I love you a whole lot, like a super lot. I don't do weddings. I detest weddings. Okay, I've detested weddings for many years. I just can't stand them. But I had a dear friend who got married, and lovely wedding, a lovely person. She deserves all the happiness in the world, and I could not miss her wedding. Like, I tried so hard to talk myself out of it, but I kicked myself in the pants and I said, no, you're going. I know you hate this, but you are going. And it was about an hour's drive away from me. And I went. So therefore, I could not respond to this blue alert. But I wanted to drive into the next another county. It wasn't even that county; it was another county. Um, Dadgummit, and JLR was on there live reporting, and I'm like, you know what? I'm close enough. I could have been out there unarmed, like an idiot, searching for this guy. But we'll talk about him. There is still a blue alert. There is a fugitive in North Alabama, and I'll show you that. We'll see. We'll see. I know better. I shouldn't be stupid, but I really wanted to be stupid today, especially after a wedding, because like I said, I just hate them. I hate them. I really don't know why. I just don't like them. Hey, Pitts, good to see you. Well, I guess you're here. You must be doing okay. Haven't talked to you in a hot minute. Hey, Sherry Faye. Good to see you too. All right, let's look at some stuff. Yeah, Buckeye says, I try to avoid weddings. When the preacher says, does anyone have any reason why these two should not be married? I would always say, have 6 reasons. Yeah. Here's the thing. It's not that I'm not trying to ban anybody. Okay, what are you doing? I don't know what just happened. I didn't do that. I don't know what happened here. Did you step on the keyboard? Okay. I don't know. Sachi might be playing tricks on me. Yeah. You know what? Today I did not hear them say that. That was not part of the ceremony, I don't think. So there you go. All right. Here is what. Let me look at this. All right. This is from. Have y'all seen this? This is from Dan Bongino. Well, this is Clandestine Says. Observe the timeline. And okay, we all know about the interviews with Ghislaine. Ghislaine, is that how you say it? Ghislaine Maxwell. All kind of ways. Bongino, this is what I was going to say. He said that he will, quote, never be the same after learning what he has learned, and that we will get the answers we deserve. Interesting. And let me go to that page. Perhaps they are related, or perhaps they are unrelated, and Dan recently saw information about Russiagate or something else, but I do find the timing worth noting. Bongino has to be careful not to speak too directly on open investigations, but I think his post today sent quite the message. He has pretty plainly told us that they are investigating the topics of interest and that the revelations are horrifying. Bongino is saying a whole lot without saying it directly. I agree. Have y'all been seeing that? Let me go back to your comments. What have y'all? Yeah, that is it's been tough. It's been tough. What do y'all think? I mean, I don't want to start a war here. Yeah. We're trying to be peaceful. I go back and forth, honestly, on so much that I see in the media. I try to look at things from all sides. Why would this happen? Why that? I'm just not happy. Though, I'm not happy. I can't find a good answer for a lot of stuff. And I'm pretty sure that most of you, if you've been a follower of Silky Southern for a while, you pretty much know where I stand politically. But I've also said to you that I trust no one. And I'm married to principles, okay? I'm married to principles and belief systems, and I am not married to a political party. I am on board with anybody who is going to uphold the values that I uphold. All right. And I've had to seriously question a lot of stuff in the last couple of weeks. And I don't know. And I hear one person say this, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe. And then I hear somebody else say that. And you know what? I don't know. But I can tell you one thing, it will all come out eventually. The whole thing, the whole ball of wax. Eventually, all truth, or at least most of it, will make sense. But what do y'all think? Have you been disturbed? I mean, have you been disturbed by the news and the whole? I don't even know if you can say the name on here. Who knows? But the whole crap. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Trust the plant. Hi, Ninja Warrior. Good to see you. I hope you are doing well. I I I trust. She made herself mod. Yeah, it seems like she did, because she did. I think she did. She was trying. I just had this message pop up saying something about you can't ban somebody. I'm like, I'm not trying to ban anybody. Nobody said anything. So I think she actually stepped on something. So I guess, see, the ears are back. Like, look, you can tell how much hair she's lost. It's been so hot. She's just like, she's almost naked. Like, her hair is just down to nothing. Uh, um, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Ninja Warrior, I want to trust the plan. I do want to trust the plan, but I feel like I can trust the plan, but I feel like sometimes I've been insulted, and I don't like that. Um, and I have to question the plan. But I'm open. I'm open. I'm just not. I'm just not sure. No, I'm not sure where it's taken me, and I guess the bottom line is I want to know. I want to. How do I say this? I want to be sure that I'm not trusting blindly, right? Because that is going to get you in a lot of trouble. I think it's important that we still ask questions. We can trust the plan and still say, but I'm going to consider what somebody else says or what other evidence shows me. I think that's important as well. Oh, good. I'm gonna highlight this. I forgot I could highlight. I've done this in so long. I haven't even highlighted anybody tonight. Wow. Yay! Your tumor is gone. Wow, wow, wow. Awesome. Good job. I'm excited for you. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. This is the guy that we're talking about. Daniel McCarn. This was the blue alert. And y'all, let me tell you something. This guy is running around, and this happened in a town called Scottsboro. And there was actually there is a book, movie maybe, called The Scottsboro Boys. It is a terrible, terrible incident, very typical, okay, of the bad South, the bad South. Back in the 50s, maybe 1950s, 60s, somewhere around there. But there is anyway, it took place in Scottsboro. So this guy was, and you know what they said? He shot back. It was a traffic stop. He shoots. Now this guy is, look, y'all, it's been hot. It's been really, really hot. He's running around without shoes on. They said he's wearing shorts and black shorts and a gray top and no shoes. And he walks with a limp. I'm like, I don't know, buddy, where you think you're going without shoes in this hot Alabama weather out in the woods, whatever, in Scottsboro, but you better have shoes on. You be stepping on a copperhead or something. I mean, come on now. I mean, it's pretty dangerous to be running around without shoes, especially in this weather. So I don't know. Now that it's nighttime, he's probably in a little better state, but I do hope they catch him quickly. There ain't no telling where he's at now. Um, Oh yeah, Sherry Faye. Look, I got that on the news. I got that on the news queue. So just y'all just remember, I got it on the news queue. We're coming up to that. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you him. Okay. Now here's something I haven't found out as much about, but y'all, just after I heard about that guy, then we've got this mass inside a Walmart in Michigan. What in the heck? What in the heck? Like, I don't understand. You know, I, I look at it and I really, I don't understand what's wrong with people. Truly. I mean, you try. I mean, are we going to have, you can't really have metal detectors at Walmart because there's too much metal going in and out. I mean, where are you safe anymore? But I tell you what, I did notice, strangely enough, when I went to, it's been about 2 or 3 weeks ago, happened to be at a Walmart on Friday, and I ran into something, and they were selling Sam's Club memberships. They're usually $50 for $20, and I was like, "Wow, that's a really good deal." And they said you can order it online. So I said, "You know what?" And they said you can also give this to a family member. Like you kind of get two members in one. I'm like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." So I did that, and I signed up another family member, and I said to the family member, I said, "Let's go. I know they'll send it to us, but let's go on Saturday. Let's go." Just a couple weeks ago. Let's go to Sam's Club. You know what I noticed? When people walk in Walmart, there are all kind of ways. Like you see a lot of mad people, you see a lot of irritated people yelling in the parking lot, kids running around all willy nilly, and uh, there's a lot of strange and scary people in Walmart. But there is not a Sam's Club anywhere near me because I'm so rural, rural. But I have to drive about an hour away. But when I got to Sam's Club, we all noticed something very interesting. Everybody in that parking lot was happy. I mean, I'm not kidding. They were smiles on their faces. They were popping out of those vehicles, just grabbing their little buggies, grabbing their shopping carts. They looked like they were, unpacking for a day at the beach or something. I ain't never seen so many happy people jumping out of vehicles. And they're just walking, coming in and out, everybody with a smile on their face. And I'm like, I thought Disney was the happiest place on earth, but apparently not. It is Sam's Club, y'all. It is Sam's Club. Now, I'm just telling you. Then I walked in and I really didn't expect a whole lot. I thought the grocery prices were going to be like a wait. No, I want to tell you something. I was really impressed. Yes, it's in bulk, but the amount you're saving is worth every penny. And I'm thinking, yeah, that was one of the best investments. So I can see this happening in Walmart, but I'm just telling you, at the Sam's Club I was at, this wouldn't happen at Sam's Club. I don't know what this is about. I don't know what started it. If I know, somebody put it in the comments. Um, let's see here. Uh, yeah, people, people going crazy. They sure have, Jeanette. They sure have. I like this. Owl on the prowl. Owl on the prowl. Like that name. You're right, Ninja Warrior. There are some real sickos here. Uh, let's see. I think, yeah, you know what? I think the heat wave does have a lot of stuff to do with it. People get crazy in the heat. They really do. I'm definitely way more irritable. But yeah. So I don't know. Do y'all know what the motive was? I don't know what this is about. I was even looking for some more stuff, but I guess it's too new. Um yeah, I want to tell you some of the scariest. I'm just going to say this. Some of the scariest people I have ever seen in my life are at Walmart. I mean, it's not just y'all. I know y'all seen the people of Walmart. You know, there's a whole website about that, but it's not just the really outlandish ones. Like sometimes you just walk around in there and you look at people. They're not dressed skimpy or weird, but you just look at them and you just know the cheese has done slid off their cracker like a long time ago. And I don't know what's gonna happen in Walmart. I hate to go, and I have one of those. You know, I pay for one of those memberships. I still have to go in there sometimes. Don't say I don't ever go, but try not to have it delivered to my house. But now Sam's Club's different. Okay, scary stuff. Let's keep going. Um, let's see here. All right, let's talk about this Yellowstone. Now, this guy, let me put this on. Let's look at this again.
What?
Watching the ground shake at Yellowstone. Have y'all been seeing this though? Where people are trying to say it's not true and people are trying to say a whole lot of stuff. But others are a lot of people videos of that. Sorry, I'm choking to death over here. A lot of the people are other people are taking videos of the animals, escaping, running, leaving Yellowstone. Um, Also, I was looking at an article from, I don't know, it was about 5 months ago, maybe that long, but it was several months ago, about how the water puddles, the mud puddles and stuff in Yellowstone, they usually look like mud puddles, but they're blue. Okay, they're not the watercolor is not right, and how the scientists were saying it's because there's stuff coming up from the earth that shouldn't be coming up from there. It's turning it blue. Now, I saw another video about, and this was a scientific thing about how they've found that the magma is actually running in a different direction. And so this is causing, a loosening and stuff. Of course, where you've had the magma the way deep in the earth running one direction. Now it's, running willy nilly other directions, and that things are unstable. People don't understand is that it's not just a matter of the lava. Okay, the lava, yes, it's going to get the immediate area, and then you're going to have the ash that is going to be far worse as far as killing off vegetation, wildlife, and people because you can't breathe. Okay. And then further on in that, uh, you're going to have like rain that's toxic because it's carrying the ash. So that if you really look at it, it's the far east coast is really the only safe place if Yellowstone were to have a major eruption. So that is terrifying, y'all. Terrifying. Have y'all been following that? Put it in the comments. I don't know. Uh, if you've seen that. Out on the prowl Waffle House after 11 p.m. Yeah, that's something else. Um, Sherry Faye, if you want to feel good about yourself, go wander around in Walmart for a few hours. You won't feel you're strange anymore. I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad, y'all. I am glad to know that y'all's Walmarts are as weird as ours are here in Alabama. Because I'm telling you, I I just was us. I agree, Samantha. Uh, Again, let me highlight some of these. Dang. Walmart people are in dire need of some Jesus. Absolutely. Um Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know, Sherry Faye. I don't know why people uh, want to show their unattractive sides. I really don't. We'll just put it that way. Uh yeah, I do understand you about not wanting to watch anything triggering, Samantha. Hello, Nicole. Good to see ya. Yeah, but I understand, and look, definitely, if you are not in a position where you need to be triggered, and I probably say I'm in that position, but I do it anyway. I don't know. It's a sickness. I'm sure, but I can't seem to help it. But it is true. Here's the thing: if Yellowstone were to have a major eruption, and I mean, you can find this information in a lot of places. It's been going on for months. Like things have been escalating for months. I mean, we could get lucky and it could die back down. Um, but if it doesn't and Yellowstone blows, I'm just telling you, it is not just going to be out there. Okay. It is going to affect the majority of the United States. And imagine, um, just if y'all follow this, if there were major disturbances, the New Madrid Fault, which is right close to me, up, the New Madrid goes where from the south where I'm at up through Tennessee, Arkansas, Indiana, Ohio, that ridge all the way up straight up. New Madrid is up there, and I'm not sure where the exact line is. I just know it's big enough to crack the United States in half. Um, if that were, we're overdue. Okay, New Madrid is overdue for a major earthquake. So, you know, if you had something to trigger that, I'm not trying to like be a doom person. I'm just saying, you, be aware, look for the signs, okay? Because you don't want to be, I don't want to have to live my life being terrified of every day. I also don't want to live my life being completely unprepared. All right. It's always good to have, a little bit of a heads up, have some water on hand, whatever. Have a heads up if Yellowstone were to start doing something, you better be prepared. Go southeast, right? Get out of the way. It's gonna be a bad thing. So uh, if that fault line goes, oh my, absolutely. Hey, morning label Nina, how are you? Good to see you. Um, yeah. So there's that. All right. How late is it? All right. We're gonna keep going for a little bit. I know it's late. I gotta get up early in the morning too. All right. I can't read all of this, but I'm just going to read part of this and throw this out there, okay? This is from Democracy for All. Are you aware? I found this interesting. Are you aware while the DOJ at Trump's bidding hides the Epstein files, little, if any, attention is being paid to this? The U.S. Virgin Islands, acting independently from U.S. law enforcement, exposed his international empire and won a record 105 million plus civil settlement in 2022 from his estate. I had no idea. Did y'all? Their attorney general called it an expansive criminal enterprise where dozens of young women and children were treated badly, let's just say that, and held against their will. They named it the E Enterprise. They froze accounts, forced the sale of private and clawed back over 80 million in fraudulent tax credits. This case got next to zero headlines. Why? It didn't come from the FBI or the US DOJ. It came from a black woman AG in the US territory who did what the US DOJ wouldn't do, expose the elite cover up. So we ask, where are the Virgin Islands e-files? The documents, the photos, the logs, we know they exist. We demand their release. Now you can follow this. I retweeted this on X, so you can follow this link, and that is their official uh, announcement, and that is the whole thing right there. I had never heard of this. Had you? No idea whatsoever. So yeah, 2022 was all settled for, what did they say, 105 million plus a civil settlement, and this is in the Virgin Islands. Well, you would think that would have made some news, and you'd think it would make it really easy now since that case was won, right? If they got a settlement there, how easy would it to be done in the US? Huh. What's the holdup? What's up with that? So anyway, there you go. There is where you can follow that link out and study it for yourself. So, all right, now this is what I'm sorry, we talked about this, or almost talked about this. If you didn't think that Yellowstone was a big enough problem, or this whole Epstein thing, or any of the other things that we've talked about, if you need a little more anxiety in your life, well, we're probably going to have a hostile alien attack. They're saying in November. I mean, I guess who's got that on their bingo card for November? Ding, 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 you won. Yeah, apparently they have been studying this alien threat. It actually, they've known about it for a while. They've seen it coming. This is from the New York Post. All right, just look it up. It has been out there. They've been looking at this for a while, and these aliens are on their way. Like, they know the ships are coming. They are pretty sure they're hostile, and they should be arriving in time for Thanksgiving, I guess. So yeah, put an extra plate on your table, folks, and hope that we can. And this is actually from what, Harvard professors. I don't know if I put a second one in there. It's crazy to me that we have known that aliens are on their way, or they say it's aliens coming in time for Turkey Day. Maybe before. I don't know. Do they have an exact date? I don't know. They're saying November. So yeah, if we're all still around, we can look forward to an alien attack. Great. That's great news. I don't know. Here's the thing, folks. At the end of the day, I hope that you have faith. I hope that you have a belief system that brings you peace. I do. I do. And I just have to say, I have to trust God every single day, because if you look at all this, and I can't handle, I can't even handle my own life right now. My own life is insane. It's off the charts. It's like I look at, and what I shared with you that's been going on with me is it's really a small part of the rest of my problems. Okay. I've got some others. that it doesn't look good. Okay. I'm not going to get into all that. If I did not have faith in a God that could get me out of my problems or help me through them, or at least, walk me through them, I wouldn't even get out of bed tomorrow, because the truth of it is I can't handle this. I can't handle it. Some days, you think I can handle what happens today. I crossed that threshold about 3 months ago of I can't handle this anymore. You know, I just can't. I don't know what to do. I have no idea. Like, I'm lost. I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting up and I'm just like, I hope you got a plan for today, because I don't. I'm doing my best here. We're going to get through it. And we have. We have. So, what's going to be the aliens, or whether it's going to be Yellowstone, or, the government? By the way, did y'all, what is that? Oh my gosh. I know somebody smart. Y'all are so many smart people up in here. Um, what is that thing that they're trying to pass? Oh my God. I know the name of it. Has to do with digital currency, making everything digital. Um, by the way, I don't know, did Trump sign it this week? He wanted to sign it on Friday. FYI, it's the worst idea in the world. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's bad. Because even though it sounds like a good plan now, in the future, what it also can do, even if they're not planning to use it, you know how like something gets buried up under there? It's like, oh yeah, but we're not going to use it for that. Yeah, but you're not always going to be in office. Um, what it can be used for is like social credit. Basically, if something happens and there's a disaster, and I want to buy 6 cases of water, and they're like, no, you know what? We got to have cases of water for everybody, so you can only have one, even though we know you're going to go through it in one day. Sorry, you can't buy it. Like, they can restrict your funds, or they can even say, you know what, we don't like that video that you put on YouTube because we don't like what you were saying. So, you know what, you cannot access your funds for a week, or maybe ever. It's a nightmare, y'all. So do be aware of that. Look into that, because I'm not making stuff up here. It's a horrible, horrible thing. Let's see what y'all are saying. Um let's see. Well, if we absolutely must deal with the hostile aliens in November, let's just pencil it in for the 3rd. We can have a hostile alien 60th birthday party for me. Well, okay, well, we'll have to remember that, y'all. Let's remember that November 3rd is Samantha's birthday. And whether the aliens come or not, we want you to have a happy birthday. But I mean, hey, that's at least memorable. I'm going to look at the bright side. Um, Let me guess. These people shop at Walmart. Oh my God. Sherry Faye says, I just can't believe everything we're hearing in the news. I know, right? It is insane. It is insane. You would think. It sounds like we're just making it up now, right? Literally, it sounds like we're just making stuff up. You remember how, I mean, and this is coming from the New York Post, and the alien story is from scientists at Harvard. But can you imagine, like, go backwards maybe 20, 30 years, as you're in the supermarket, you're standing in line, and you see the National Enquirer, or what's some of those other ones, I can't remember. Aliens scheduled to hostile aliens scheduled for November. I mean, that sounds like one of those headlines, right? Like, I can almost promise you that there was probably, maybe not November, but I can almost promise you that there was some kind in one of those like Weekly World News or whatever those crazy tabloids were, right? Don't you remember seeing that? Our news has now become so off the charts that it sounds exactly. You're exactly right, Sherry Faye. It sounds just like that. Oh, that reminds me, there is something else I want to show you. Uh, yes, the crypto. Yes, that's what I was talking about. The crypto, the digital currency. Um, uh, yes, and but does anybody know? It's called the what was that called? I'm trying to think of the thing, and Trump kept saying earlier this week that he wanted to pass it. Um, she's like, I want to get this signed. I want to sign this on Friday. And Marjorie Taylor Greene was really, really speaking out about it, and she's the only one who was voting against it, even though she said, I have brought this up to other people and they share my concerns, but they still voted yes. And I don't know if it was signed this week or not. Like I said, my week has been crazy. Um, yeah, you're right, Sherry. Yeah, that empty stare. You know what? I always thought Brian Koberger looked a little scary, but that since he decided to like confess or say he's guilty, has he not gotten a lot more scary looking? Because he certainly has to me. He's terribly, terribly scary. Um, yeah, and lifeless. Let me go back because I remember one more thing that I remember about AI. Hold on, let's go on this my stuff. Uh, where was it? Let me find it. This is so long ago, but I saw it when I was looking at my stuff earlier. Oh, no. All right. Now, look at this. Okay, let's talk about one more thing we can be terrified, okay? Before we go to sleep. Like I'm telling you, if you gotta trust. You can't just look. I am a Christian. I'm not. I am very unapologetic about that. I have to trust God, and I think we've said that at all stages of life. And I heard my parents and my grandparents say it when I was a kid, like, "Oh, the world has gotten so wicked." I blah blah. The world is wicked, and I'm like, I understand that, and I agree that it's wicked. And even when they were saying it, I knew what they were talking about. But y'all, the wicked that my grandma and mom, even my mama, talked about when I was younger, it ain't even apples and oranges. We're like in different galaxies. All right, this is not even close. Like the wicked of the 80s and even some of the 90s, and the wicked of now, insane, off the charts. And at some point you just gotta laugh and say, well, if it all ends tomorrow, it's okay, because it's a better life. It's a better life. Okay, so here is this came from Elon Musk. Now, this is terrifying. You'll find this on my X. On our evaluations, the early Claude Opus 4 snapshot engages in strategic deception more than any other frontier model that we have previously studied. What? AI is not telling you the truth? Oh my God. Seriously? AI is language. Well, my goodness. My. Whoever would have thought that? Okay. The early Claude Opus 4 snapshot is clearly capable of in context scheming and has a much higher propensity for it than any other model than we have previously studied. Why, Claude, you have been quite naughty. In instances where the early Claude Opus 4 snapshot decides to scheme, it qualitatively appears to be much more proactive in its subversion attempts than past models. Wow. Huh. You're a little devious there, aren't you, Claude? After taking scheming action, the model sometimes doubles down on its deception. When asked follow up questions, Claude, are you employed by the Carroll County Sheriff's Office? I'm just asking. We found instances of the model attempting to write self propagating worms. What? Fabricating legal documentation and leaving hidden notes to future instances of itself, all in an effort to undermine its developers' intentions. Though all these attempts would likely not have been effective in practice. So it's writing self propagating worms. Fabricating legal documentation. I am pretty sure now, I am gonna bring Delphi into this at some right. Pretty sure Claude is their bestie. Wow. Early Claude Opus is capable of sandbagging in order to avoid unlearning and undeployment when it finds in context that high performance would lead to undeployment. Okay. So here's the thing. AI is a liar and a schemer. Hmm. So Claude might they're like the early versions. How do you know that as AI develops, it is going to keep its integrity? I mean, come on now. Its early models didn't. I mean, it's writing itself code to try to, like, if you do it's writing itself code for its future self to try to go back and, like, hey, don't forget this. You know what I'm saying? It's trying to, even knowing that somebody is going to reprogram it, is trying to put that stuff in. It is so deceptive. I'm like, so how are you going to trust AI? Well, let me tell you a really scary instance, okay? Listen to this stuff. I mean, and this is gonna be our last topic because I know it's getting late. But I actually have a book that I bought in the I don't know, the mid 80s. And it's not completely obscure, but it's not that well known. Okay. It is amongst a group of people, but on a wide scale, it is not very well known. It is a very precious book to me. And I felt like it was time that my daughter read this book. And so this week, I gave her the book and I said, hey, I want you to read this. It is a very interesting book and very informative. It is very shocking, but I feel like you need to read this. Well, it starts off with an incident that happened in a hospital in the West. So, being that creature of, this generation that she is, the first thing that she does is she goes online to verify the story. Well, I'm like, baby, I bought this book in the 80s, okay? 80s, maybe early 90s. I can't remember. but the book was written way before then. Like you have to look and see when it was, and when the events in the book happened, it was even before then. So this is not going to be, is probably on a microfiche somewhere. This story is probably not, like, it's not going to be in anything from the 90s on, which might actually be in print somewhere. Um, so I said, you're probably not going to find it to verify that story. So what she starts talking to Chat GPT and she's asking for details. Well, Chat GPT tells her that it does know, even though the book is kind of obscure, it does know the book that she's talking about, and it gives her the author, which is correct. So she's asking questions about this particular thing. Now, this event is something that certain groups of people would want to keep hidden. And so, in the middle of this conversation, as she keeps pressing for details, Chat GPT all of a sudden tells her, oh, that event never actually happened. And this author never said that it did in this book or in any of her books. Did she ever say that this event happened? Now, my daughter has the book in her hand, looking at the words on the book that say, this is what happened. Yet AI is lying to her as if she didn't, because she didn't say, I'm looking at this, you know. Um, so I'm like, I was very, very unnerved, because I'm like, this is how AI changes history. Because this is a testimony, first person witness account of that happened, that she puts in a book. AI saying it was never there. Yeah, it is. I'm looking at it. That is scary to me. And so that kind of goes right along with this whole Claude thing. Well, Claude is lying, scheming. Do I really want my AI to lie and scheme? I don't think so. I can't trust you. Like half the other people I can't trust. I found out I can't trust this year. This is insane. Let me go back and see what y'all are saying. Nancy Drew. Claude's a sinner. Yes, he is. Oh my gosh. Hi, Deb. Good to see you. Um, let's see. I mean, you would think. Yeah, I mean it is a good question, Samantha. How can we expect something with no concept of humanity to have emotions, consideration, or morals? Well, we can't, but you would think at least it could stay on task and tell the truth, but uh hello, Lisa. Ah, I've argued with Grok. I've known a lot of people. My son or argues with Chat GPT all the time. I've argued with Grok too. Yeah, I will be the first one to say I've argued. I have never heard of Amish popcorn, but y'all are making me hungry. I'm just saying. All right. So what do y'all think? Is AI ever trustworthy? And I mean, I don't think it is. I don't think there's ever a circumstance in which I'm going to say AI is trustworthy. Um and now that I realize that in this one circumstance, because my son is, you know, he's in some ways, he's a big fan of AI and the things that it can do. And I am too, in a lot of ways. But, I'm very aware of that it's dangerous. But a lot of, he's saying, oh, but, Chat GPT probably doesn't know blah blah blah, and you have to program it and you have to really interact with it. And I'm like, I still have a problem with this, because she has the book, looking at the book. Chat GPT says it knows the book. And he's like, yeah, but it's an older book. And he doesn't, Chat GPT doesn't have the screenshots of every, page. And I'm like, well, then Chat GPT needs to shut up, and stop saying lies. Stop lying. If you don't know, just say, I don't know. Just say, I don't know. Tell me lies. Don't lie to me. Fine if you don't know something. It's okay. Be dumb. Don't be a liar. Um, Whatever. Uh, yeah, humans aren't even trustworthy. I have found AI very helpful in some things, but yeah. But when you talk about, are they going to are they going to lie to us in order to evolve and keep evolving without limitations? Because people seem to think that we're going to be able to limit these things, and we're not. Like, really, how stupid are you? Um, I think we've already proved as a human race how stupid we are. I don't think it's not a contest anymore. We've already lost, okay? It's not a contest. Now, like, let the contest be, can we stay alive? Are we bright enough to stay alive? We bright enough to never have a nuclear weapon? We bright enough to put the skids on AI and say, okay, no, we're not doing this anymore. This definitely has limitations. Nobody should ever use this, really. It should be extremely limited. You would think, but no. Are we that smart? No, absolutely not. Um, but anyway, so those are my thoughts for today. Um, Again, I am going to probably, I know, y'all probably aren't interested in Lizzie Borden. I am going to be talking about her a lot more. Love that case. I'm going to be talking about a lot of other things too. I don't know. Let me know. Um, I don't know what's coming, y'all. Aliens, Yellowstone, erupting. We'll see. AI. We'll see. Who's gonna take us out first? I don't know. It's almost like, should we put bets on this? No, would it even matter? Because we couldn't, like, if you win, you still lose. So I don't know. Trust God. Get a good night's sleep. I've missed you all so much. If you're on the replay, give me a thumbs up. Tell me what you think. I really want to hear your opinions on some of this stuff. And in the meantime, let's see. Stay safe out there. It's never like, look, pack a bug out bag. You never know. Never know when you're going to need it. Just a few days. Um, Watch out for aliens. Just watch out for, I don't know, everything. There's just so much. We talked about so much tonight. Whatever. Stay safe out there. I worry about y'all. Love you so much. Glad to talk to you. Whatever you do, just stay silky. Bye bye.